Shestoleit, we found it, you love it.
Good day, my dear friends. Today, our second podcast, and we have our amazing guest, Andrea, who is aiming to become the sexologist. Maybe already the sexologist, I don't know actually. Good evening, Andrea.
Good evening, good evening.
How are you doing?
Good, good. Recovering from sickness and
Sickness.
Belgium lack of sun, but very good. Feeling great today.
That's a classic. That's a classic one. Like
Yeah,
everyone.
definitely. But thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your time. And of course, as everybody know, we're the Shestoleit project. For those who don't know, what is our project about? Actually, let's start from the beginning. We were sitting with three friends of us, with the founders actually. And we were seeing that there is like some of lack of sex positivity and sexuality in the world. And we actually decided to create our own podcast that actually aiming to promote the sexual education, awareness, and supporting action in the society. And we truly believe that actually the sex positivity and sexuality that actually should be understood, supported. You're laughing, but it's important.
I'm fully agreeing with this. I'm all ears.
That's good. That's good. So, and that's why we understood that actually it should be supported, and that's why we created our project that not only proposing the products, but also actually creating the safe environment for people to share their experience, to discuss, to get the education, also to empower the healthier relationship among the people, and I would say the general human well-being. So this is actually our mission, vision in a few sentences. That's it. And what about you, Andrea? Tell a bit more about yourself.
Hello, I'm Andrea. I'm a Spanish woman. I've been living in Brussels for some years now, and I'm redirecting my life towards sexology. I decided to start a master this year called Sexology and Gender. And why so? Really, because sexology and sexuality, it's been really important in my life. I think I'm the person that has been talking about sexuality always with my friends, openly talking about it, trying to debunk myths and trying to have a better understanding of ourselves, of our way to live,
Nice.
more freely and more according to ourselves. And lately I was working in social projects, and I wanted to put the cherry on the top, saying, okay, I want to be an educator, but mostly why not a sexual educator? So
Really
this
nice.
year I took the decision to start this master.
And you studying in Barcelona, as you told me.
In Madrid.
Yes, in Madrid. Sorry, in Madrid. That's true.
Madrid.
It's really nice.
Yep.
So you're originally from Madrid, and you decided to come just back to your roots, I would say, and started to do masters there. Why not in Belgium?
There are other options in Belgium. Yeah, you can study the master in other universities like ULB or UK Leuven. But I wanted to come back to my roots somehow. And I thought it would be easier, first of all, to study in Spanish. I mean, why not?
Yes. So it's your mother tongue for sure.
It's
So
my
yes,
mother
it's
tongue.
much easier.
Yeah. And I thought it had a gender perspective a bit more healthy, this master, than other masters. I think like the gender perspective, it's really important in a sexology master to really see it from an open point of view. And that's why I decided to do precisely this master.
That's really nice. And so it's only 1 year master, or it's like 2 years, 3 years?
It's 1 year because in Spain we have 4+1.
Okay, 4 plus
So
1.
as I have studied already my good 4 years in the past, I decided just to study this one very intense year. And so I can focus also to work as soon as possible in this field and not continue studying forever, even though I will do, because in
Like everyone
sexology
should
you
do,
have to
yes.
also, but
Yes, that's for sure. You need to stay always up to date. Is it difficult to get into like such kind of a university? Is it difficult to enter? Is there an entrance exam or something like that?
not entry exams, but depending on the university where you go, they're gonna ask you some requirements. Usually you must have studied psychology or medicine.
Okay.
Because in these two fields there's a lack of studying sexuality, and a lot of psychologists and doctors would like to get more knowledge about sexuality,
Okay.
because it touches them directly and they are not formed enough, so they cannot really give a good work in their day-to-day job. So these masters are usually directed to this field, but there are another ways. So you can study sexology like me, if you have a really intense interest and you've been working in the social field for some years and you have some experience with it.
And you had experience before, or yes?
Some I've been working as a monitor, like a monitor, educator with teenager children. I've been volunteering a lot in projects related to sexuality too. So at some point, I've been acquiring some knowledge and some
That's really
experience about
nice.
these.
And with teenager, there was some common issues that was coming, like usually with the teenagers in terms of sexology and sexuality, or
Yeah, I
what is
mean,
it?
there are a lot. I think even ourselves, if we come back to our teenager period, we may figure out that we had lots of questions that were not answered, and we end up looking the answers in the wrong place, maybe Google, maybe some other places, getting the wrong information. So I think it's very important, especially in the teenager period where puberty and you are going through so many changes, to have the right education and to have someone that you can approach to and talk without any boundaries and feeling completely safe about it.
Yeah,
So
it's really important. So do you think like you should talk like I mean with your family about all these issues that can emerge in your teenagers period, or you believe that's more if you go like on Google you can find it? I mean like what is your solution for all these problems?
I think we really need the sexual education in the public system at schools. I think it's really, really important that from the beginning we have this sexual education, because even from where we are children, like from even 3 years old, we need to start learning about certain things. For example, consent. Like people think about sexual education as something related directly to porn, masturbation, sexual practices, whereas sexual education, it's everything, and sexuality is everything. So we need to be accompanied throughout our life, throughout all our years and our development, with the right information
Yes.
to fully develop in a good way, to prevent sexual abuse when we are
Yeah,
children,
yeah, for
to
sure.
prevent and to have the right information all along the way.
That's true, but it still remain a bit difficult because still there is like some lack of understanding of the sex education. There's misunderstanding, and there's like misvalues that we are applying in our real life, I would say. And so I see you brought some books today. What are these books? Can you share with us why you brought them? Which language is it? Who is the writer?
They are both in Spanish, but I know they are both translated into English. And actually, this first one that I'm bringing, it's called Opening Up. It's a guide to create and maintain opening relationships.
And then you need to smile like.
No, because then we can put it.
Yeah, 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 like this. Go
Uh,
on.
If I can make comments.
and the author, it's Tristan Taormino. And this is the first book that I would recommend to anyone that wants to start this beautiful trip of getting out of monogamous relationship and uh, understanding a little bit other types of relationships. Yeah, it's for general public, and yeah, I would really highly recommend. It's just a way to.
What are the key takeaways? Sorry for interrupting you, but what are the key takeaways that you take for yourself? And
Mhm.
what was actually your age when you read this book? How old you
Actually, I
was?
was. It was not that long ago. I think
Oh, really?
I started this trip not that long ago, maybe like 2 3 years.
Okay.
This was my first book, and it's the first lesson to understand. Yeah, the types of relationship. It's the first thing that this book will explain to you, the different types of relationships. So the monogamous, what is the difference between an open relationship to polyamorous relationship to relation and anarchy relationship.
Can you give some definition because maybe like not
Sure.
ever.
For example, an open relationship, it's a relationship where you have your partner and you are gonna allow yourself to have sexual encounters outside of the main relationship. But usually, an open relationship wouldn't allow to have affection or to involve in romantic things with the third, or
So
the
you
other
have just
person.
sex with like other people out of your relationship, and but there
Indeed,
is no like romantic, and there is no like
you
creation of the bond with this person.
indeed you cannot
Okay.
develop the affection.
Okay. So
Um,
it's more like one night stand that is there, or you can stay like with your partner and I would say like one of your friends, but still there is like no dates or something like that. It's just like sex that you have, or
Indeed, it's more focused into the sex mind, like not
okay.
not developing affection. It can be one night stand or several. As I always say, like relationships, there are many relationships as people in the world. So the main focus and my main advice would be create your relationship as you want it. Talk about it with your partners, and see what you want. Check your
Okay.
desires, check your limits, and yeah, like in open relationships, it's mostly just sex out of the main partner, but doesn't allow affection. And for me, it was the first step, I guess, to break out of the monogamous way. But then I started to think that I cannot separate the sexual part from the affection part. Because when I
That's what was my next question actually, because for example, if I have sex with somebody, then at the end I have affection, I have some attachment, I have connection with this person, so I would say stay with this person. I wanna that this person is going to be only for me. So this is it's actually it's my mindset. It's giving me by the society, or what is your explanation for this one?
For me, that's the way I think too.
Ah,
But
okay.
I think not everyone thinks the same way. Maybe there are some people that indeed it's easier for them to have sex encounters with other external people out of their relationship, and they are not gonna feel attached. They're just gonna look for sex, and that's it, and no affection, no anything. But for me, that it goes hand to hand. So that's why the second another kind of relationship that I also moving towards it's polyamorous, because for me it explains way better. Just you can love several people, not in the same way, not in the same level maybe, but at the end of the day it's love. You can call it friendship love, or deeper
Yeah.
love, or whatever kind of love. You have also romantic love or platonic love, but it's love at the end of the day. So I rather live under this polyamorous way of living, because I think it's also more fair with the people, and less cold of saying, okay, you are just gonna be sex for me tonight, and that's it, like no care
Hmm.
afterwards. So yeah, another type of relationship I would have, it's polyamorous, and I fall under that umbrella right now, I would say.
Yes, so you have some relationship with, I would say, multiple then persons.
Yeah,
So
it's having a
it's
relationship with multiple people, or just maybe one or two or three, depending on the moment. That doesn't imply a polyamorous relationship. It's not focused on the amount of people that are in there, rather than
so there's no limits.
there's no limits. You can just have your own partner, one single partner, and be a couple, let's say, be in two, and still call yourself a polyamorous person, because it's more about the structure that you're gonna create around it. You can be only with one partner, but still feel free to have encounters, meet people without putting yourself barriers of, oh, I cannot develop affections with them. No, just feeling free to meet the people and see naturally the connection that is going to develop out of it.
So what is going to be now a bit more personal
Mhm.
question. So how many partners you have now with whom like you're like
I have
partners
my
is
main partner,
yes.
I would say. So I also another specific part of polyamorous relationship that I was gonna explain a little bit. It's you can have hierarchical relationships and non-hierarchical.
Okay, nice. We go deeper in. It's nice. It's
Yeah,
nice. Nice.
which
Good.
means if you put hierarchy in your relationships, like priority in your
Okay.
relationships. Me, for example, I have my main partner, so I do somehow have a main partner,
Okay.
because I spend more time with him, we do more things together. So at the end of the day, I do feel I prioritize him over maybe another encounters. But we do both of us together and separately. We see other people, and we don't limit ourselves in this person. It's just sex, or just this person is just affection. What we do is communicate each other what we are feeling, what we are developing with each person,
Okay.
trying to have this open communication all the time, which is the most important thing, and see where we go. I would say don't put limits to yourself and just communicate. Listen to what you need, listen what you can give to, because insecurities are there, and we need to also deconstruct ourselves and be aware of what we can give,
Okay.
but also, yeah, listen where to our limits. But through communication, I think if you love your partner, everything can be talked to and decided together.
That's
Is
very
it for
nice.
us? No. Are you okay with this? No. How do you feel about it? Um,
So in this kind of relationship, you feel much more better now than in just traditional relationship.
I do.
Like on the mental, I mean mental part. So I don't know, fulfilled. No, like the psychological part. You feel mentally now much more stable, or
I do. I think on one side it's been a complicated trip, I would say. I mean, when you start this trip of opening relationships, it's also complicated because you gotta check your limits, and there's a lot of self work to do, to work on your insecurities, jealousies, all your things in there, and talk to your partner, have a lot of uncomfortable conversations. But I think, yeah, indeed, it's way more fulfilling because I don't feel limited somehow. I don't want to limit I don't want limits in my life, just the ones that
okay.
I put to myself. And same for my partner. I want them to, yeah, to live their life and not be limited because, I don't know, just a construct or just an
There's only one
insecurity.
life, so you don't need to have any limits. So you need to be free and try what you want actually in your life. So do you have maybe a specific advice for people who want to start? Like I would say, let's start with open relationship. Yes, I would say I think it's the first step that you can do. Do you have any advice how you can start conversation with your partner? Because I would say it's not just like you like during the breakfast, like, hey, hello, I have an idea. I have an idea. Like, let's start an open relationship. How you start it? What is the punch that you can give?
I would say, first of all,
Punchline,
don't
yes.
open your relationship just because your relationship doesn't work. Because if that's your
Okay.
only main reason, it's not gonna work. Believe me. You have to do it because both you want, and secondly, yeah, have uncomfortable conversations. Sit down and talk to your partner. Like, how do you feel? What do you need? What do you want? Uh, what are your interests? Like, how do you feel about this or that? And try not to, yeah, feel bad about uncomfortable conversations. I think that's the only way, and to listen to your needs. Hey, what do I need? What's my way of love? What's my kind of attachment? Like, I'm a person that it's avoidant. I'm a person that tends to get too attached to people. What are my needs in terms of love, and what are their needs too? And just, it's a way of finding an equilibrium and finding a point in the middle where you both agree, okay, this is fine for me, and yeah, this is fine for me too. Okay, then here in this little path we can try together, and little by little you end up discussing things where
Agreeing, yeah.
you both may be agreeing together on this. Don't expect neither to go from nothing to everything from one side, from one day to the other. Like, this is yeah, something that takes time
Yeah, for sure.
and evolution. But yeah, definitely just listen to yourself.
And the thing is, sexologist is actually a good solution where you can say like, okay, I think we need to talk, but maybe I'm not so secured to talk about like difficult topic. Do you think this is like the time that you need to go to like sexologists? I would say I mean not sexologist, but maybe psychologist or something like that. More to like the external person that can help your relationship, or it's better just to discuss with two of you, like just. within the couple?
Depending on you, I mean, sexologist and sex therapy, it's there for that too. If you don't need it because you would think you can have these amazing conversations with your partners, like if you don't need it, go ahead. But of course, we are there as an extra support, as an extra help. So if you think you are not able to even check upon yourself, because sometimes people they have difficulties being having and doing introspection of themselves, knowing really how they are and what they want inside. So if you need a little bit more insight or someone that would help you in this path of learning yourself, learning about yourself first, yeah, sure, come to a sexologist or a sex therapist, and together we will go through this amazing path.
It's amazing. But you think it should be on a regular basis? Like, for example, you get your relationship, and after, like, we'll say 3 months, you're saying, like, just for checkup, let's go for a psychologist. Is it a good solution or not? Or should be like really when you feel like everything is going in the wrong direction, then you're deciding like, okay, now we need to help from from outside.
To be honest, in an idealistic world, I would say that everyone, the same as everyone needs a psychologist, because why not? People shouldn't go only to psychologists when they have problems. We should be able to talk to a psychologist even maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, just to talk about our lives, because psychologists are there to make us feel better, to bring everything out of our bodies out.
Yes.
So yeah, why not from a sexology point of view, taking into account that sexuality is something that touches us from it's something transversal in our lives, affects us in every single way, the way we thought, the way we think, our own values, the way we create connections with people, the way we have sex, the way we love. So yeah, why not having someone that you can trust and have advices, or just talking things out loud sometimes makes you feel better, and especially in this path of sexuality, it's such a taboo, getting out of the norm, that
to express yourself, actually. To
indeed
talk
having a
about it,
space where you can
it's-
express yourself should be
That's true. But then, in case if you have like multiple partners, and I would say you want to discuss something, you go like all together. I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's a bit strange because I never been in such relationship. I mean, I had only like the traditional one. And this is the question, like, if you have like, I would say, two partners, as they know about each other, you're all good friends, I would say. And then if you want to discuss, you go all together to one specialist, or you go like separate. I don't know. Did you ever had like this experience?
I've never had it myself, but me myself, for example, I'm going to a psychologist, and she's a sexologist too,
Okay, nice.
on the side, and I'm talking myself my own things in my own life with her, not including my partner in that sort of way, or my other partners. So I would say it really depends. If you want to do a sex therapy with all of them, all the people involved, go ahead. Why not? I think the sexology should be the one telling you which therapy is the best. The same as with psychology. Maybe you need a therapy with your parents or with external people, or maybe you need a therapy from yourself, because the problems that you're having come from your own mind, from your own setup of way of perceiving things, mental health. So I would say it really depends.
Okay. No, it's really interesting. And also, I just had one more question. If you go back to the type of the relationship, you said there was like four. No, there's four relationship, and there's you didn't mention the last one. What was the last one about?
I don't want to put a number because there are a lot.
Okay, maybe the first.
I would say there's swinging too. It's interchanging couples,
Okay,
for
nice.
example. We talked about open relationships, polyamory. There are, for example, polyfidelity, which is
What is it?
having a throuple, for example. but like a monogamous throuple, I would say. So 3 people, but they are not open to have other stuff,
Others, so they're just
but they're
just
just
three.
3 on themselves, and
Really nice.
or 4.
Really nice.
So once again, there are so many types of relationship, and the last one that I mentioned, it's a relationship anarchy,
Okay.
and that's very interesting, where I'm trying to go to, because it's as we were speaking about, trying not to put hierarchy and priority in the connections that you have with people, meaning people that believe in relationship anarchy don't believe that the couple or the sexual romantic connections have more importance than other type of connections, like your friends, like your family. So they really try to live in a horizontal way of loving without prioritizing any type of love in general, which can be complicated to implement in real life, I must admit, because even in my case, I was saying I fell into the polyamorous way of being, but somehow I'm just because I'm giving way more time to my primary partner, at the end of the day, I'm prioritizing him a bit more over the others. So we also have to be real with what we do and the practicality of the things. But it's true that relationship anarchy, for me, it's really interesting, because I think that we tend to forget, for example, the importance that our friends are in our life,
For sure.
or our sex friends, or just someone
Yeah,
that
it's
we
important.
met one time,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. It's also
why
nice.
why
It's also a good experience.
why that shouldn't be important.
That's true. But if you go take a look like in the future, so for example, you're gonna have kids. I don't know if you're planning any kids, but for example, imagine you have kids. So you're gonna prioritize your kids above like other, I would say, people in other relationship, because like with your kids, there is a relationship. It's also like on biological basis, like especially women who give a birth after labor, they have like a really emotional connection. As I know, maybe I'm wrong. That's I heard. So there is like this mother instinct that they're trying to protect their child. So there's like different connection or not.
I mean, even though we are
No,
talking
but
about types of love,
yes.
kids are like the relationship that you have with kids. It's different, and I was even gonna answer that there's a lot of pressure at the end of the day, um, from the motherhood, even the instinct of motherhood. Yes and no. I mean, I think that also comes from some sort of patriarchy way of thinking that there's a link to the motherhood, whereas
I would either change the question or skip it.
I love it. I love the answer, so it's good. I was interrupted, so there is some control over what we are saying. No, no, no. I love it. It's
No,
good.
that's
I'm not
just
gonna
good, but the
repose.
question is a bit.
No, question was good, so we're gonna have more reaction, I would say. But I mean, like, I was saying that I know because we were talking about the relationship, and as I know, like an example, with your kids, it's gonna be like a different relationship, and so because you were saying, like, for example, if you go to anarchy relationship, yes, and so there you're not prioritizing any of the relationship. Everybody is equal, so it's really nice. But then I had a question because of that, because it's not considering that you have children, or yes, it is, or it's just
for me it
it's
doesn't
like an
really
outlier,
matter.
let's say.
I can have children, but for example, it's about thinking, why not, I don't know, raising my children with my friend? Why I cannot, I don't know, adopt a children and raise it with my
You
best
can.
friend instead of my partner? Because maybe like my best friend, it's as important as the
Oh, nice.
romantic relationships that I could have. I've been maybe developing this deep connection with my best friend since we were teenagers, and it's the person that I know the most, that knows me the most, that we have this, I don't know, we live together maybe instead of living with my partner, and I decide to raise my child with them, just breaking a bit the norms that society puts in us, just trying to live your life as you want and being a bit critical in the decisions that you take. It's the only, like, I don't know, advice that I try to put in my life,
So
let's
this is
say.
the thing. So you need to listen to yourself, understand what is your needs,
Yeah.
and then you need to follow these needs, and you don't need to look look like around and seeing what actually society is putting the pressure on you and giving for you the right answers.
Indeed.
So this is the main thing.
I think it's very well put in words precisely. Yeah, why not getting married with your best friend?
Okay.
It's even the statement of marriage. It's so like
It's
couple
like your
marriage. It's
friends.
so why not? What represents marriage actually? What is the
The idea, it's like you're the traditional, like I would say, the institute, one of the base of our society, where you have the marriage, where you are creating the family with the person that you love, I would say, or
Mhm.
I would say also friends with them. And
That's
then you raise, I would say, kids, or maybe no kids. Maybe if you're child free, it's completely appreciated. Now it's more appreciated. I would say before it was a bit different, especially in East European culture, like from my region. There was like, because I would say my mother, she had me from when she was 24. I'm already like 26, and I cannot imagine that I'm going to have like children's now. So now it's a bit shifting that you are more free to choose what you desire, what's going to be your family, how it's going to look like. But before, I would say, because that was, I would say, after the fall of Soviet Union, and that was the traditional, there was the traditional point of view on how you need to look. If you're like already 20, 22, you need to have children, you need to have family. So they were pushed to choose their like the loved one and to create family and to have kids. Otherwise, it's going to be too late, and you're going to be, I mean, without children, and it's not going to be really respected. When is going to be your point of view about the future, how we need to develop?
once again I think I my point of view is just I want to promote the critical questioning, the critical point of view of life. You can do whatever feels right for you. A monogamous relationship, if it's right for you, amazing. Like go with it. Polyamorous or anarchy relationship, it's not better than a monogamous one. The thing is that people fall into monogamous relationships without even thinking about it, because we are taught this when you grow up. It's the only reason, the only option that it's given to us in society. You need to have a couple, you need to end up with children, you need to create this family, you need to do this in one only way that is only perceived good as a society like this. And for me, that is the problem. Uh, we need to raise like a critical spirit and to fully decide what is better for us. And if it's out of the norm, go ahead. Just check what you want, check what you need, discuss it with your partner, plural or not, and try to follow it. But one, it's not worse than the other. I think we are mm, getting there. We are more and more breaking these only monogamous relationships, and we are exploring other patterns, um, exploring the queerness of things. But yeah, once again, one, it's not worse than the other. It's just, yeah, we gotta think about it in a
It's really
critical
nice. It's really
spirit.
nice point of view. Love it, love it. But also, I noticed that you are not really mentioning the term of love.
Hmm.
It's really interesting because you were saying like the romantic relationship, the attachment, like I would say for a specific person, the prioritizing like one person, but you were not really mentioning like I would say that you have love, like the love attachment is like, the love that I would say we can see like in the movies or in the films. What do you think about it? What is your definition of love?
For me, love, it's a need. It's even studied that love, it's a personal need. We need love in our lives. So
We need
we
to be
are
appreciated by society, or
love is a need. We need to love. We need to love, be loved by people, and we need to love because it's a need. But I don't believe in the concept of true love. That's where you're going. Um, I think true love doesn't exist. Once again, it's a product of capitalism, actually. The one and only, the only person for you, the your half, all the half, that person, it's gonna complete you. Like there are so many myths about this love, call it romantic love or Disney love, actually, that we see in Disney movies that teach us so many wrong things, so many myths, that when we are growing, we realize love, it's not really like this, or healthy love, it's not like this. Love cannot with everything. Love, it's not gonna save us from anything. We should not suffer from love. And there are so many myths about it that we just eat without realizing all throughout our lives, that once again it's what we should be a bit more conscious and not follow with our eyes closed. I was the first one having horrible relationships in the past because of this love. My love, it's gonna like save my life, and it's the only one, and I cannot fall in love again. And yeah, and the couple, it's the only thing important in my life, and it gotta be exclusive because I cannot love two people at the same time. I'm such a bad person if I love two people at the same time because it's not appreciated by society. Like, no, stop these myths. Love, it's universal. Love, we are made for love. So
we're made for love. We
let's
can
spread love.
Everyone. Let's spread love.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's a really good statement. So there is the place of love.
Mm-hmm.
You can love multiple people. I mean, everyone can do it. So you're free to choose it. We are like in free world. So we can do whatever we want to do.
About that, just saying free love, but with responsibility, please. Free love doesn't mean being truly free of doing whatever you want.
What do you mean responsibility?
If you have relationships with people, doesn't really matter which kind of relationship. Can be friendship, can be other kind of relationships, loving, romantic, sexual. You have a certain responsibility to take care of the person, to not hurt that person or hurt yourself. Because a lot of the times society perceives polyamorous, like people don't just fuck a lot and don't have responsibilities about what they're doing. And what I think it's really important, and it's once again having these conversations about truly knowing what you want and what are your limits, but also having responsibility, like emotional responsibility with the relationships that you're having with. Can be your friends, just how to take care of your friends, how to protect and care for
How
your
to
friends.
Your friends.
Indeed,
How
a
to
lot
be
of
a good
people.
friend. How to be a good friend. Yes,
Yeah.
it's really difficult. But if you're gonna say you have a lot of friends, how you can be like a good friend for everyone?
That's up to everyone to see how they care for their relationships. Everyone has special needs and limits, so it's up to you to see how and to talk with the person. What do you need? What I'm there for, to create boundaries. I don't know, but keep in mind that if you have a relationship with someone, can be why not stand, can be 3 seconds that you're kissing that person. You have a certain responsibility with that person to care of that lien and relationship, attachment, whatever that you've created. Could be, once again, 3 seconds, one night stand, fuck buddy that you see once a month, or your partner or partners that you see maybe more or maybe less. But there's always a certain emotional responsibility with it that we shouldn't forget.
That's really important. So what you want to say that you not only with your partner you need to have the open discussion, but also with the friends. For example, if it's just a friend, you don't have any sexual connection with this person, you don't have any sex with this person, even then you need to have the open dialogue with this person, open discussion, like how we need to be friends, what is your needs, what you expect actually from me, what means for you to the friendship, the word friendship.
To be honest, I think as society would be a bit better, and we would be maybe better people. We would be less disappointed by people if we would dare to have these conversations. It's just we don't normalize having these maybe deep conversations, but
with friends,
why not? I think it's the basics of but what am I to you? Like,
I think after this discussion, I'm gonna be with each of my friends. Like, yes, tell me
like,
what you expect from me. What you
do you
expect?
want to hug?
You
Like, I
wanna
don't know.
hug?
Am I
You wanna be a good friend?
like? There's
Let's build
something
our
that
friendship.
yeah, there's something that I don't do. Maybe that you would like me to do, or like
Yeah,
I don't know. Have these conversations
I
with
can
your
help
the
you.
people around you. I think you're gonna be surprised how yeah,
That's
how
true.
can deepen the relationship and how can they be really useful actually.
Useful relationship or
Useful, yeah,
useful
useful
friends.
for
It's like
yeah,
you need
maybe
to become
useful is
useful
not the
friends right
term.
now. Otherwise, no friendship anymore. It's done.
Yeah, maybe not useful, but
No, no,
yeah.
no. It's good word. It's good word. I love it. Let's get back to you. So, my next question, as you said, that you are now actually already actively participating in some social projects regarding the sexology. My question is going to be in which project you're already involved.
Um, actually, I work in actually I work in some of associations here in Brussels. So there's OYES Association, and it's an association that implements sexual education among teenagers, and they are the ones in charge bringing the project EVRAS, so the sexual education to schools, to high schools, to universities. And what we do, it's we create the pedagogical material behind, and then we go to schools, universities, to give workshops about different subjects. It could be prevention about sexual infections, or it could be explaining the different types of, I don't know, anatomy,
Okay.
or it could be,
Are
yeah,
you
lots
learning
of.
how to use like contraception or?
Also, yeah, it's just we don't want to focus the sexual education mostly on prevention, because that way of thinking, it's a bit reductionist to the prevention. Oh, sex is dangerous, be careful. So we want to implement the sex positive movement in the way of it's not only prevention of contraception and yeah, infections, but yeah, in promoting the good way of it. Yeah,
Okay.
like the good part of it.
What is sex positivity then? What is the definition according to you?
I would repeat myself a little bit. I would say, yeah, not only focusing on the prevention and the scary part of sex, that through religion and through political and through lots of structures in societies, it's the reality that they put in advance, but rather taking the sex and sexuality as something natural, something that it's part of us, something that it's positive for our bodies, for our well-being, overall well-being, our mental health, our relationships, and encouraging to explore that part of us, because it's a part of us. And yeah, once again, it's even a human's right. So we have the human's right to develop this positivity in sexuality,
Being
not only
appreciated,
sex talking about practices, but sexuality talking about
In general.
everything.
yes, in each part of our life. Is there any sex positive culture? I would say in Europe. I see you laughing, so maybe you know something.
I mean, I would say, depending on the country, there are different points of view. But yeah, it does. I think Europe has copied a bit United States, where it started also a bit with the feminism, which was created and originated a bit in there. And for example, Germany has such a big culture of sex positive.
Especially like specific town or city or like
For me, Berlin.
Berlin.
It's the
It's the
place to
main-
be right now.
the Berlin stuff. Yes, 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 for sure. Any specific examples from there out there or?
I would say if you really want to go, if you are interested about this world, these parties, sex positive parties, which mean parties that allow a safer place where you can explore your sexuality, meaning, once again, everything, meaning you can kiss freely someone, you can end up having sex, you can explore your fetish, your kinks, you can explore every single aspect of your sexuality. while you're dancing and while you're with other people in a, once again, safer place. Yeah, that's the sex positive movement that is spreading around a bit. But in Berlin, precisely talking about Berlin, go to Kit Kat. Maybe they should pay me for saying this. Free ads,
free
yeah.
ads. Yes, let's go.
But I really love that place. I've been in several sex positive parties all around Europe. Um, and for me, it's the best one in terms of how, yeah, safe. A place, I don't like to say the word safe because a place, it's never completely safe.
So
There are a
there's
lot of
some risks or
factors.
like, yeah,
You
okay.
cannot, yeah, you cannot say that it's going to be 100 completely safe because it would be a lie. But it's one of the places where I felt more free, where I felt the people were amazing. They were not gonna judge you, not look at you weirdly. They're gonna accept and listen to your limits and what you want to, and in an open discussion with no judgment, discrimination, no anything. And yeah, it makes you feel amazing, to be honest.
Really? And what about the consent there? So you need first to ask the permission, and then you go on like to kiss person, or how it's happening?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely. I mean, the right way to do it, it's always asking the person. So yeah, ask first, and then maybe you can make your dreams come true. Maybe you can make your fetish come
Comes
true
through.
in that
Okay,
place.
it's really nice. So you're proposing something, and the person are either rejecting or like saying like, yeah, let's go. Who cares?
Definitely,
Okay, it's nice.
but in a non-judgmental way. That for me, it's the most important thing.
So it could be rejected, but they're gonna say like, yeah, okay, I appreciate it, but I don't want to do this, and you
Yeah,
can go just like to the nearest person, say the same. Like it's gonna be
but
like
without being too shocked. I think we are
too
not,
shocked. You're like,
people are not used to
that's true. I
hear
mean,
practices that go out of the normative way. I remember, for example, when I was in Kit Kat, someone asked me if I could pee on them.
okay, it's not. And you did
Uh,
it, or
I didn't personally because I didn't want to do it in that moment, or it was not. It's
you
not a
didn't want to pee?
practice.
at
It's
the
not a
moment?
practice. It could be that, but it's not a
Yeah,
practice
yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm fully okay with.
Okay.
Depends. Um, but I found that amazing, actually, that that person with no fear could freely ask in a very normal way that if I wanted to, if it was also my desire, we could share that moment that way without feeling weird or judged or anything. Because at the end of the day, we all have different desires and fetish, and that's okay.
Okay, it's really nice. But if you're gonna couple to like sex education, like for example, if you go to school, if you're gonna prepare some material stuff for kids, I would say, do you gonna promote the idea of sex positivity then in terms of like there is the place, I would say not Kit Kat, but in general there is some culture where you can go and freely express your, I would say, kinks, fetish, what I think about it? Or is there any specific age limit where you're gonna say like, okay, when you're gonna turn 18, then I'm gonna propose you like, for example, some assignment or not assignment, but some papers where you can learn and go through it and understand what there is actually this sex positive culture. Okay, just
I understand what you mean. I think there are two parts in this question. Like sex positivity, yeah, I applied a lot into this movement that it's happening in parties and clubs, in events, precisely because there's the will to create these places where sexuality can happen in a more free way. But no, of course not. That's what sexual education wants to bring to children or to kids or at schools. It's not going to be that for sure. I mean, sex education, once again, or positive sexuality, it's about bringing the idea that sexuality is good and it's a part of yourself, and that you need to get the right information at the right time, at the right age, in order to fully and good develop yourself. So I think those sides like should be separated. I don't want to scare people saying I'm going to talk about peeing to children. Um, but there are two parts on this question. And maybe, yeah, when you're old enough, you're going to be the one to find yourself that these parties exist. I don't think that it's part of the system to show that this party exists, like part of the public system, sexual education. Uh, but yeah, once you're old enough and once you are educated in a proper way, so you are not judgmental, so you know what you like, so you know how to respect your boundaries and the boundaries of the others, then I would consider that you're ready enough when
So
you're
there's no
older.
specific age limit on it. So
I
I
mean,
would say you need to pass, like, I would say, like a test. When you're passing the test and you're saying, okay, you're educated enough,
I
you're
mean,
not cheating on the test, I believe you,
for me,
and then
first
you
of all,
can
in order
go.
to go to a club, you have to be old of age, which
Yeah,
means
yeah, yeah, for
older
sure.
than 18. So
18.
I
Okay,
wouldn't
this is the
consider
first.
anything older than anyone younger than 18 going to any of these clubs. Uh, yeah, I would say that first of all, I
After
mean, there
18.
are other maturity and responsibility
Yeah, sure,
levels
for sure.
that you need in order to be good in these places and in these clubs. But definitely, if we would have a proper sexual education and positive sexual education, not only with the point of view of let's prevent the risks, let's prevent the bad things, the ETS, let's prevent the infections and the pregnancies, that puts a vision really, really reduced and essentialist of what sex and sexuality is.
Okay.
So the
Because, I mean, if you're gonna respect all the contraception rules, you're not gonna have any. I mean, you're gonna have less pregnancies, of course, that can happen. Like a lot of stuff. I mean, like if you go like to this party, I mean, there could be some risks, but you can limit this risk by using then contraception. Or is there any other rules that you need to apply when you, for example, go to sex positive party? Or
your own responsibility, once again, I would say, like, if you like going to a sex positive party doesn't mean doing whatever you want without taking the responsibility of your own actions. And especially if you consider yourself a person that has been educated in the sexual positive way, you're gonna know that you have to respect yourself and respect the others.
okay,
And that would mean, I don't know, using, yeah, anti-conceptive
anti contraceptive.
contraceptive
Yes.
methods. Sorry.
Ah, okay.
Or other stuff. I don't know. It would depend on the person. If the person is consensual about not using them, maybe you cannot use them. Maybe yeah, you can take another way. But yeah, I would also be talking about yeah, the person that you're with and
Okay.
seeing.
Okay. And yeah, I have a question. Like, can you advise that you're gonna like participate in such parties with your partner? Do you think it's a good idea, or it's better to go alone?
Once again, depending on
On
the
your
on
on the
the yeah, on the discussions that you've had with the partners. To be honest, from my point of view, I would advise it. I've done it with my partner in several occasions, going to these sex positive parties, which also you don't have the obligation to do anything. You can just go to this party and dance the whole night
Okay.
and not do anything. They are not parties focused on you enter and there's an orgy in there happening. Not at all. It's just a club that allows you to express yourself fully in a non-judgmental way. So yeah, if this world interests you, I
Okay.
would say, yeah, talk with your partner, discuss first freehand what you may see, what you're okay to do or not to do, together, separately. You have to have this discussion first in order to be fully ready of what you are gonna see inside. But it can deepen your connection a lot if you have these conversations and you end up going together or not. Up to you,
It's up
up
to you
to your
to
couple,
decide.
your partner, your type of relationship, up to what you're building once again.
Okay, it's really nice. And also, like, really about these parties. Yeah, of course, because we are also adult toys shop. Do they use any adult toys, any toys during, like, I would say you can bring your own toys, or there's like some stuff that is on your disposal? How it's happening actually?
This is an interesting question. I have never thought about the use of sex toys as vibrators or these kind of sex toys
It's more private
in
than.
sex positive parties. It depends. I've been into clubs where the sex practices are more private. You go into cabins, so you're on your own with the people or person you chose. There are other parties where it's just in a public space. The whole club it's an interchanging of people. So you are being seen by other people.
Okay.
You don't have private corners. It's just everything that's decorated in the has you have the access to
Okay.
be in there and be comfortable in the middle of the place. But it's true that, yeah, I've never seen that many toys. Yes, toys connected to the BDSM and kinky world, yes.
Okay.
Like fustas, I don't know how to say that, like to spank,
Okay. Yeah. 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 I got you what you
that's
mean.
that sort
Yeah.
of material.
Like
Yeah,
more the
I've
BDSM, yes, material.
whips,
Yes, like whips.
whips, this kind of material, yeah, related to BDSM. But I've never seen toys like vibrators or, yeah, dildos, stuff like that. I would say that if you want to use it, bring it for home. I'm gonna take this idea for the next time
For
that
the next time, you're gonna
yeah.
be get prepared. Like, yeah, let's go, guys.
Yeah, why
Yeah, I
not?
think that's
I would think it would be useful, especially maybe, I don't know, if I want to have an orgasm quite faster than what I
yes.
could have it in another time, and I may use a satisfier while,
Satisfier. Yes, let's
yeah,
go.
while I'm
Let's
having
go.
sex with my partner or partners in there. Yeah, why not? I'm a huge defender of sex toys. So yeah, bring yours to your party. Maybe not share with a lot of people in terms of health, securities, and all this thing, but bring yours
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
use
for
it.
sure, for sure. That's true. And as you said, that you're a sex toys defender. So I would say how you consider like what do you mean like defender? You're like promoting sex toys, or you're saying like I mean, give me your thoughts about it.
I think sex toys are a very good extra thing that society give us to enjoy our sexuality. I know there's the opinion, the controversial opinion that they are gonna um, take the first place and that human beings won't be as good as sex toys, that they're gonna replace the human sex work.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
do you think it can replace or not? Because I think
Not at
there's
all.
like some dolls for guys that are like almost the same as like I would say the human body or something like that, because they're really trying their best. Because in recent years, it's like I mean, in general, the adult toys industry is boosting, especially after COVID, because there was like everybody were locked in their own house, so they started to I would say to order more sex toys, and there was like a huge boost. But now, as I know, like the sex dolls, yes, they're boosting. Do you think there can some threats that in the future we're gonna have more like I would say like sex with robots rather than with other people?
To be honest, I'm not afraid of that. I'm a huge defender of sex toys, but I think they are never gonna replace the human beings, because human beings, we have emotions, we have this connection. We have this level of depthness that a toy it's never gonna achieve. So not at all. I mean, yeah, you can have maybe orgasms or other type of things with sex toys, but never replacing what a deep connection and spending time with a person it's gonna give to you. So I'm not scared about that at all. And on the other side, I think it's a good way to, yeah, to promote certain aspects of sexuality. For
Okay.
example, yeah, I know a lot of women. For example, it's very common that they are scared because they don't get to orgasms pretty fast, so they spend their whole lives or a good part of their lives thinking that they have a problem, that they cannot have an orgasm,
Awesome,
they
yeah.
cannot come, and sometimes they use a satisfier or an air suctioner. It's quite liberating
Yeah,
for
okay.
them because they understand that their bodies are completely valid and they can have orgasms too, and yeah, and it's a way of
So it's more
liberating
like
them.
complementary, like to the main sex with other person. Then you can use like a sex toy and it's completely okay, but it's never gonna replace, in your point of view, like the natural human, I would say. So this is like just a complementary.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
really
so.
nice.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
and for personal use or for use with your partner,
Yes.
partners, with other people, I think in all ways they can be positive. They just have to be kind of introduced in the good way. It's the only thing I was gonna say, because once again, in this capitalism selling society, if we'd
because
only
it's like
focus on selling a
on the
toy,
product.
on the
On the
product,
product.
yeah, there are a lot of people that are quite scared of buying a sex toy because this world for them, it's so unknown and it's quite scary of, wow, a sex toy.
Yeah, because it's also mostly being produced by men, especially also for women, like vibrators or clitoris suckers, and it's being produced by men. And it was like, I would say before it was really the issue because, I mean, man, he can create a sex toy that it's in his opinion, the engineer in his opinion that it's most uh, can bring the most pleasure for women, but according to his thoughts.
Mhm.
Because now there is more and more brands that are actually only being created by women for women's, and it's really nice, and I really appreciate it. Because in USA there is like a special brand. I now lost the name, but it's really nice.
Mhm.
That's actually what I want to bring forward. But also, when did you buy your first toy? How old you was?
I'm 28 now. A long time ago. I don't really
Right.
remember, but some years ago, uh, yeah, some time ago already. And yeah, in my point of view, it was not that difficult for me. I think I've always been a quite open-minded person, so I really wanted to buy my first toy. So I just focused also on good quality, I
Okay.
guess. Good material like silicone, waterproof, not something that goes with batteries and
Okay.
that you may be scared of getting electroshock at some point.
Yeah, that's
Sex toys have advanced a lot in
yeah,
these
for sure,
last
for sure.
years, so we have a lot of good quality products right now. But yeah, for
Definitely.
me, it was also some way of liberating. Personally, I've been a person that yeah, took me a long time to come, for example, and sometimes it was really frustrating for me. When I was a teenager, I thought there was something wrong with me. Uh,
Really, that you wanted to buy a sex toy, you thought that it's something that's actually the issue. It's not your desire, or it's not just you buy, I don't know, some stuff. You go to the shop and you buy like, I don't know, t-shirts, something like that. For you, that was like really something bad in your opinion, or something
Buying the
harmful.
sex toy, you mean?
Yeah, buying the sex
No,
toy.
no, no, the other way. No, no, no. I thought I had the problem, so I wanted to see if I could help it
Ah, okay.
out with a sex toy.
Ah, so that was your motivation.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that motivation helped me also to invest more time within myself, to get to know myself better, to invest time in masturbating, which is very healthy. Please, people, do
Okay.
masturbate.
How often you're doing it? Like how often per week?
A lot. I
A
don't know.
lot.
I wouldn't say a number
Really.
of a
Like during,
quantity.
I would say like if you work from home, you're gonna do it like during lunch or not.
I could do it every day, every
Every day,
time.
every time, like
In the
non-stop.
morning, if I woke up bad, I have a stressful morning.
Okay.
Let's restart the day
Restart
with a
immediately,
proper
like.
masturbation. Yeah, it is.
Oh, it
It is
helps.
studied that it really helps. It liberates serotonin, oxytocin from the body, chemicals that are gonna make you feel better, and it's a liberating of anxiety. So yeah, actually, masturbating, orgasms are very good for us in our mental health and overall well-being. So I would consider you to practice it a bit more, solo, alone, or with
So
other people.
with other people.
But yeah, and sex toys are also a way to yeah, add a little up, something up, spiced up to this
That's gonna
process.
add up. Yeah, yeah, for sure. You're gonna have quality, good masturbation in the morning or in the evening before to go to sleep. It's like yoga before to go to
Yeah,
sleep or
for
morning
example.
yoga.
For example,
It's
yeah,
really nice. It's really cool. And you have your favorite toy or not?
I do. I have a couple. I would say like my favorite one. It's the very classical. I will go with the Satisfier with the air sectioner.
Air sectioner. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And you was also looking like for different brands, or you first that I mean, I don't know. I believe you made some research.
In the
Yeah, on that.
past, I think so, but I have an old one, I would say. So I don't even remember which brand is it. It's not a known brand nowadays. I think they're close to the brand Satisfier nowadays,
Okay,
like
the
a
which one?
small one, Satisfier. Something not very big too, because I have the feeling it can be quite scary
Okay.
when you buy your first toy to encounter
Yes.
something massive. Even though if it's an air suctioner, sometimes I found them very big for what they
They're
they
doing
do
actually.
actually,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
with this just sucking.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my personal favorite toy because I think it's really useful and sometimes it can be fast.
Fast.
I can
Okay.
be standing up in a corner and just like, I don't know, I would masturbate and finish fast and just
Okay, too
continue what I
fast.
was doing,
Okay,
whereas
nice.
other toys invest a little bit more time,
Okay.
which is also good because it's also good to
Yeah, yeah. I
invest a
mean, you
good
can
amount
choose.
of time
Sometimes you
to
will have limited time, so you need to be fast. Sometimes you have more time and just want to spend
indeed.
masturbating. Ah, it's really nice.
And to give the importance to the clit, that the clit is the only one
Yeah.
forgotten in life about every single in every single aspect. So let's give the clit it the importance that it deserves, please.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Please respect, please.
Yeah,
Please
respect,
respect,
please. Yeah.
respect. Yo, please.
Hashtag.
Hashtag please. That's a good one. And then is the question: do you feel emotionally attached to your toy or not? Because I saw and I searched, there is some study that the people are getting emotionally attached, especially I would say like to your first toy or the most often used toy you have. I mean, it's not meaning that you're gonna give to your friend and you're gonna be jealous. That's not what I want to say. But do you feel like the emotional attachment that, for example, if it's, if it's done, there's like it's broken, you need to throw it away. Is it sad for you, or you're gonna be like, I'm gonna buy the same? Fuck that.
I think there's some emotional attachment. Yes, indeed. I mean, at the end of the day, it's with it you spend powerful moments.
True.
So yeah, I think there's emotional attached to it. I would yeah, I don't know to which extent if I would get sad. For sure I would get sad. I don't know if I would like cry or to which extent I would be really deeply attached to it. But of course the first toy, I think there's something that sticks to your brain and sticks to your heart at the end of the day. So yeah, I think the first toy, it's something that marks you
Yeah.
emotionally. Yeah.
So this is the relationship that you also need to support and trying to develop. It's really nice.
Indeed, indeed. Especially once again, yeah, the clit suctioner, because yeah, you can use
Yes,
it in
it's
so
the
many
thing
ways.
is the best. So you're also comparing was also with different type of the sex toys, and you think like clitoris soccer is actually the best.
For people with clits,
I mean,
I would say so.
apparently
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, we are talking. There are so many sex toys for like so many types of bodies that do so many different things. So I don't know if one is best to the other, but it's true that for me the clitoris it's quite important. And for example, if I'm having a penetration with my partner or with
Yes.
other people, it's also something that I can use as a complementary at the same time. So it creates something really powerful for me. And yeah, I have a special connection to that, I would say.
That's true. That's really nice. And so you're mostly using your toy during like just sex with your partner, or it's just really depends on your mood.
Yeah, both when
Both.
I'm alone for myself and when I'm with my partner too.
Okay.
Actually, made he bought another clit sock so he can leave it
For
in his house, so we
okay,
can have
nice,
it at
nice,
all
nice,
time.
nice.
Every see if it's in my
There's
place,
everywhere
his
there's
place, or
spots. Yeah, okay,
I have
okay, it's really
a.
nice.
I would need a traveler,
Yeah, yeah, it's
traveler's
actually
size of it. Yeah.
size. Yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, we have some on our website.
Okay, I'll check it
You
out.
will need
I'll
to
check
check.
it out.
That's true. So, for the people who want to buy their first sex toy, yes, what is going to be your advice? Or maybe some top three advices, or
Hmm.
up to you.
Hmm. Buy something that you feel comfortable with. Um, Something that it's easy, I would say, at the beginning. Like, don't rush into really big things or really complicated things for your first toy. And yeah, of course, check the good material, mm, good price, waterproof. It's a nice added. I think most of the sex toys right
Yeah,
now
yeah,
they are
mostly yes. Yeah,
waterproof.
yeah.
Back at the time, it was not. um, but yeah, I think maybe what gives you the most pleasure, because every single body it's different,
Okay.
and try to focus on that. For me, it's true that in with person with vagina and clits, I would rather stay in the external side because it's easier and maybe less invasive, so less scary to accept. A lot of women are scared, yeah, to buy their first toy.
Okay.
So I would advise them to buy a air clit
Something.
sectioner
Yeah.
instead of something that goes inside
Okay.
because it looks a bit more aggressive
True.
from the point of view. But once again, if that's what you really like and you are really sure that you want to be that penetrated by something,
Why not?
check your
Yeah, yeah,
options.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
not? Everybody, it's different. But yeah, see what you like and take something basic for the first toy, and then you can upgrade little by little, I would say.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And actually, on our site, we have some educational material where you can check what kind of the sex toy it's mostly passing for you. And yeah, so there's like step-by-step instruction. So everybody feel free to check it out. That's nice. But let's go further. What do you think is going to be the future of the sex toys industry? What do you think where we're going to end up?
That is a very nice question. I'm not sure if like artificial intelligence is gonna take over of sex toys.
It could be nice
That could be
because
such a
if
thing.
it's gonna be like also like in the setups, they're gonna be artificial intelligent, and you're gonna just set up what you wanna expect.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe your sexer gonna talk with you during. I mean, some of the people they like. You're gonna just
Yeah,
program it
true,
like which phrases that you wanna hear from a sex toy. It could be nice actually.
true, true.
That's 1 million business idea.
Ding,
Let's
ding,
go.
ding.
Let's go. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so you think artificial intelligent or
Maybe, I don't know. It was something that just crossed my mind right now. I don't know what's the future. I think there's a big future for sex toys.
okay?
But first, somehow, bad quality old sex toys needs to start disappearing from the markets. And for me, that's still one of the big problems. Um, sex shops are sex shops that you can find on a lot of cities. They're quite trashy. They don't look appealing. They still look quite scary from the outside, and they still sell so many products that are not good quality. So I think in order for the sex toy industry to advance and to focus on good quality, good products with the good educational material behind, yeah, there's some changes there that need to be done. And I hope in the future we all have sex toys in our houses and we are proud of them. And we are not scared about talking about them and sharing
Yes,
and
sharing experience.
this and
It's really
that
nice.
experiences. Yeah,
No, totally agree about the quality because there's still a lot of sex shop that's selling, I don't know, like $2 value or €2 value sex toy that it's just like, from plastic or
hmm,
something like that, and it's really harmful for your body and it's really dangerous, I would say.
indeed.
So let's I don't know, block them. I don't know. Let's
Yeah, we have to do something about
yeah,
it.
we need to do something. Let's start our own campaign.
Mhm.
That's true, but so yeah, no, totally agree with you. And so, just to summarize, actually, the main part of our interview, if we're gonna sum up everything what we said today, and regarding your future desire to become a sexologist and to actually give the lessons and to incorporate, I would say, the sexual education in the school system, what is going to be the most important topics or like top three things that you want to learn children's, what is going to be the main key takeaways
Hmm.
from your ideas, let's say, materials?
The main three topics. It's complicated because once
I would say
again,
5 topics, 10, top 10, just the main things. I would say the main ideas.
for me, it's really important to break gender. Gender, it's a social construct, and we need to understand that first of all, how it affects us from when we are children, and it could be a nice way to liberate ourselves from these two categories that societies have created that are not really real. They don't even exist. It's just social construct created by us societies and Occidental, and not that all societies in the past
Okay.
this didn't even exist that much. So for me, that would be very liberating for the future generations if we teach our children from the beginning to have consent, that their bodies are their bodies and no one is allowed to touch them but themselves, for example,
Okay.
how gender affects them, breaking the stereotypes from early ages, because it's been studied that from 2, 3 years old, children are already aware of how they are perceived, and stereotypes, gender stereotypes from that age so early are starting to be functioning and affecting their lives, affecting their choices. So that's also one important thing. So we could liberate ourselves to be fully us, our expression, our sexuality, our sexual orientation. Um, yeah, to be fully us without being scared of what society is gonna think about us, or if we're gonna have or find our place in society because of how we love, how we dressed up, or how we have
I know.
sex.
Okay, that's really interesting. And what is going to be the most appropriate age to start actually the sex education classes at school?
From the beginning, I would say from 3 already, because
Already, so.
the matter
And you
of
think it should be
consent,
like on a weekly basis or like not, I mean, not every day it's going to be a bit, I would say, boring for kids, but you think once per month, once per week, once per year, I don't know.
I don't, I don't know how much, but I would say the same. You have classes from when you're children. I think sexual education should be another class, uh, maybe every week.
Every week, I would say.
Something perceived as normal as another class, as knowing how to relationship with the others, how to be a good friend, how to. There are lots of things in there that I think we would manage better if someone would explain to us. And yeah, from a very early age, because even to prevent child abuse, you need to start
True.
very early to teach them, yeah, my body it's mine, your body it's yours. No one except doctors or some, I don't know, people are
Who's touching
okay
you? Yeah,
to
yeah,
touch you if they ask you what is consent. So in every single age, there are different things to be taught. Obviously, to a 5-year-old kid, you're not gonna teach them about porn, the existence of porn. But maybe when you're starting to be 8, 9, it's already important that you teach
Yes,
them about these because they are
that's
already.
really good question. So you're gonna use porn as a good example of as a part of sex educational materials. So you're gonna use porn. You're gonna say like, okay, this is how you can do this, like different how you can have a sex.
Not at all. I
Not at
think
all.
porn it's making us so bad.
What do
Uh,
you mean bad?
as we are not educated properly in sexual education, when we have access to porn, and more it's earlier and earlier. It's been
Yes.
studies that nowadays children around 8 years old are already consuming porn, and it looks really early, but it's not.
For me, there was something like that when I
Yeah,
first
even
time
in
saw
my
it.
even in
Yes,
my
yes,
own, and
yes.
right now it's getting earlier and earlier. So imagine, but when you meet parents, they don't realize that it's that early. They need to start having discussions with their
That's
children
true. That's true.
before their own children have access to porn, and they don't know that what they are seeing is not real. There are a lot of um, the porn. There are films. They are made out to catch your eye, to your
Yeah,
attraction.
actually, it's not
They are
the natural
dramatized.
one. It's not really the what is happening. Yes.
Yeah, it's
So
not the
it's
real
just
life, like real
it's just movie.
relationships.
Yes, yes,
Indeed,
yes,
indeed, it's fiction. So
yes.
we need to, before we have access to porn, we need to understand that what we are gonna see afterwards, it's fiction.
Yeah,
If you are
and it's
completely
really nice.
formed and educated,
You can watch
why
it.
not? Maybe you in the future, when you are more adult, you can have access to porn and enjoy it and enjoy the pleasure out of it. But knowing that what you're seeing, they are not real bodies. Real bodies are diverse. They are
Different.
not hairless and perfect. And
Agree.
um, you need to know that they are performative, that the men are not going to last 3 hours, that sex usually is not like this. So you need to already be educated to know that what you're saying is not real. It's another movie, it's another fiction that it can be nice to enjoy, but
Okay,
being educated on it. And the problem is, yeah, children nowadays don't have that education. So
that's true.
we need to teach them before.
And you think it's gonna be a good idea to involve also the parents? So I would say like once per month you're gonna have like the class together with parents or only for parents. You're gonna say like, look, guys, that's how you can have an open discussion with your kiddo. Yes, to explain for him. Maybe you're gonna explain what is sex. Like homework for the next year, you're gonna explain what is sex. Maybe like this, and maybe that you can have a relationship not only with your like I mean, not man woman or like man man, like more the like homosexual relationship. So do you
Indeed.
think that's going to be a good solution, good proposal?
Indeed, of as part of my masters, what I'm doing in Madrid, for example, is we go to schools and we give these workshops not only to children in different ages and with different contexts. Once again, each content appropriates to each age, but we also talk with the parents because at the end of the day, when you are growing up, you're being educated by your school and by your family. It's a huge part of your education that you're getting out of it. It can be direct or indirect,
Okay.
but even the silence that you get out of your family, it teaches you something about
Cool.
sexuality. So there's there's
Something
always
interesting.
something that you take out of it. So yeah, for example, we have these meetings with the parents that have lots of questions about what their children are going through in different ages, and we talked with them how to better have discussions. What is it okay to talk with the children or not, depending on the age, how to manage this development
Yeah.
in sexuality. So I think it's really important, of course.
So not only for children, but also for the whole family.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
not
not
to get.
grandmother and grandfather. I think it's gonna be a bit too far, but still, like to make it like you have a family, you have your, I mean, close people for your heart, for your life, and you need to educate not only one person out of family, but actually the whole family, the whole, I would say, community that is created.
Yeah, at least the two people of reference or the
Yes,
two,
yes,
three, four,
yes.
whatever
Who
people of reference that
taking
you
care
have in
actually?
your
Yes, yes.
exactly your primary
Oh,
care people, they need to be also taught about sexual education because yeah, you're gonna learn a lot from them. Like when we are children, we repeat a lot what our parents do, and they are the ones who need to also be formed to teach us in a
yeah.
proper way.
Okay, no, it's really interesting. I mean, thank you very much. That was mostly most part of my question. And then we
Thank
are
you.
done with the main part of the interview, but we have some more interesting games to play.
Ooh,
So
let's do
stay with
it.
us. Let's
Yes.
go. Okay, now it's break time.
She stole it. We found it. You love it.
Oh yeah. What do you think about our interview? We need your feedback.
I really had an amazing time. Thank you for
Really?
this moment. Yeah. I think it's important to talk about sex toys, to talk about sexuality, and it's a good opportunity to review some subjects, to give its importance that it needs. Yeah, sexuality, sex toys, to open the discussion and a debate for other stuff, and just this nice interchange of communication and ideas.
Totally agree.
So thank you for this space and for this time.
No worries. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope in the future we're going to have some collaborations. Or we'll see what's going to happen next.
Please, with
Thank
pleasure.
you very much. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time. Done.
She stole it. We found it. You love it.